Mauricio Pochettino is a name in football that sparks a sense of disparity. Many would relish his time at Tottenham Hotspur, considering it as a miracle, whilst others believe his achievements can only be described as underwhelming. No trophies, mean no success. What is certain though is that Pochettino does not care in what camp are you in. All he cares about is securing a job apparently, because as seen on a recent interview, he has changed entirely his opinion about managing Barcelona. And let's remember that according to his own words, he'd prefer returning to work in his farm in Argentina before being the boss at the Camp Nou. I guess then that 8 months of unemployment can really change anyone's mind. If Quique Setien does not win the Champions League this season, this seems to be the option garnering the most popularity. So if it were to happen, what would the Argentinian coach bring to FC Barcelona? Join us today as we do a quick analysis on Mauricio Pochettino. What's going on guys, ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. It is absolutely no secret that Barcelona's bench right now is a hot potato. Even though Quique Setien says that he feels strong after speaking to the club and that Bartomeu has ensured his continuity recently, the reality is that the board are thinking about replacing Setien to give the team an immediate kick whenever they have the opportunity to do so. Therefore, the latest rumors surrounding the idea of Mauricio Pochettino taking charge of the Camp Nou, if Xavi is not to accept the terms of the current board, do not sound that surprising on my eyes. In fact, this isn't the first time that Poch has been linked to the job, but it has been the time where it has looked the most likely to happen. The fact is that there is a bridge year after all, and that makes it very tempting for the board to sack Setien as an excuse and use the next campaign as a new story, a new chapter for Barcelona, as if they were the ones to start the rebuild. And this looks even more tempting after the recent statement that Pochettino gave the Spanish newspaper El País. This is what Pochettino said. I was in Barcelona that year and I met Barcelona's president, of course Bartomeu, in a bar. We greeted each other because we were taking the children to the same school and we were talking for 5 minutes. That generated a rumor that set off alarms because there were more teams that wanted us, and when they asked me, I wanted to settle it drastically. I do not want to disrespect Barcelona, I never wanted to. I could have said things differently. Espanyol has made a name for me, but I'm not arrogant and I didn't like making a statement like that. Maybe now I wouldn't, because in life you never know what will happen. And I don't know about you guys, but if in that conversation the idea of Pochettino managing Barcelona wasn't at least pondered, I would have found it to be very, very surprising. Mauricio Pochettino's style as a manager can be described similarly to the muscular Argentinian style that he learned from his former manager Marcelo Bielsa. His emphasis on aggressive pressing famously earned Pep Guardiola's praise back when the two were both managing in Spain, Pochettino at Espanyol and Guardiola at Barcelona. But in many ways Pochettino's approach actually shares more with Mourinho. But don't get scared guys, just wait and listen to what I have to say. Pochettino wants defensive solidity built on rugged, bruising midfielders and an attack that combines speed, power and directness, such as the opposition is simply worn down over a full 90-minute match. He is a manager who emphasizes defense first along with robust midfield play, like Mourinho, but who prefers to play the match in the attacking third, like Guardiola, and believes the best way to defend is to win the ball back quickly when it's lost and to deny the opposition time and space to play with it when they are in possession, just like Jurgen Klopp. And that is exactly how I would like to describe Pochettino, a young manager who has taken the best elements of all of the managers that he admires and then built a system to fit his own. Pochettino's Southampton team used a 4-2-3-1 formation that kept a narrow shape up top so the attacking players could hurt in packs and win the ball back quickly in advanced positions. This is something different to Barcelona, which tend to play very wide and open, but the end goal is exactly the same, so it wouldn't be relatively impossible to see it at the Camp Nou. Poch teams also feature marauding fullbacks that played more like wingbacks to supply width in the attacking third, and had a strong emphasis on compactness across the field in order to make the press work. This system was effective, but also fairly specific in what it asked the players to do, which made it very inflexible and vulnerable when key players were injured. When he moved to Spurs, the progress that he put on the team was very slow and it didn't reflect at all like if a new manager has come in. There was no sort of development for the very first few seasons with Pochettino. Really, all he had done was find an 11 that allowed him to play basically the same way that he did at Southampton, and they performed better because the quality of players was simply higher. Christian Eriksen is of course far better than Adam Lallana, Moussa Dembélé is better than Morgan Schneiderlin, and Harry Kane is far superior than someone like Ricky Lambert was. But this in return gave Tottenham the exact same problems that it gave Southampton in the past. We're talking about a squad of only around 15 players that could operate in the positions that Pochettino actually wanted. If he came to Barcelona, he will find himself with a very similar debate. And whilst Barcelona can supply them with more money, they're entering financial crisis right now and they couldn't really assure Pochettino to get the big name players that he might actually need for his system. Pochettino will have to rely a lot, like he did in Spurs, on La Cantera, on La Masia, on the youth prospects that are coming through. The 2016-2017 season was, in my opinion, the highlight of his career at Spurs. The best ever I have seen Tottenham play. How did he achieve this though in a team that was plagued by injuries and the problems that I have just mentioned? Well, he actually decided to shift to a new formation, a 3-5-2. The bedrock principles of Pochettino's football were still there, a sturdy defensive shape, muscular midfield play, and direct attacking into the final third. But the move from a 4-2-3-1 to a 3 at the back did several things to improve Tottenham's attack. With Christian Eriksen as a creative runner, shuttling between midfield and attack, he suddenly was getting the ball in new areas and had new passing angles. Dele Alli provided a close partner to Harry Kane, who could play quick passing exchanges with the English striker and work off his exceptional hold of play. As the year progressed, we started to see more and more of Dele Alli getting the ball in advanced central positions and playing clever chips and through the ball set up to Harry Kane. Something that for Barcelona, I could potentially say that Suarez and Griezmann could form a similar partnership. Using wingbacks allowed Tottenham to pack more players into the attacking third without clogging the central area, something that for Barcelona would prove very useful as they have already very attacking fullbacks in Jordi Alba and Nelson Semedo. They could potentially even have better output than even wingers in this side. But the key here for me, guys, was that change from Christian Eriksen from a forward player to act in the midfield, something we're already naturally seeing with Lionel Messi. I think that Pochettino could potentially get the best out of him because his already formation plays around a number 10 being the guy dictating the play. So literally Messi does that for Barcelona every single week, and having a guy, a manager that already plans for that could be very beneficial in the long run for Barcelona. In simpler terms, what I'm trying to say is that the success that stems from Pochettino doesn't stem directly from what he has achieved, but rather from the growth that he has been able to do in his years. And guess what? Growth is particularly what I believe Barcelona needs most at this current stage. So to summarize the strength of Mauricio Pochettino as a manager, I first have to start by saying that he's able to do a lot with very, very little. FC Barcelona are currently in a moment where they can't rely on new players coming in to impact the team. Rather, as we've been reading of late, the club is ready to forget about the market and buy only the essentials and start supporting again the development of young players. Mauricio Pochettino can help in this aspect, and he's not necessarily ready to give youngsters the opportunity, but rather he likes to give opportunities to whoever deserves it. So if that's a 19-year-old compared to a 30-year-old, well, so be it. Mauricio is ready to welcome any sort of contributions to his one-way system. And that is exactly where we find his second strength as a manager, because he's able to gather all of these kind of pieces of the squad and make something out of it. He adjusts to the team that he needs to go and actually can make them work hard again. As a tactician, Pochettino has been able to mix different tactics from different managers and make one of his own. It might be in a specific way of playing the game, but it should suit Barcelona. Keeping a narrow attack with these players Barcelona currently have should actually be very well for the team. The greatest I have ever heard is that Barcelona need to play 4-3-3 so that they can perform like they used to in the past. That is farther away from the truth as you can possibly imagine. The attacking style football that Barcelona play is ingrained in the players, and it originates from the press. And Pochettino has demonstrated that he can get a team pressing again. So in my eyes, he's one of the best possible options right now free on the market that can come in and get these old players mixed with youngsters to get pressing again. And pressing again means hard work, and hard work means success for any team. On the contrary, the appointment of Pochettino would derive in two negative things in my opinion. The first is that the club will still remain in complete ambiguity as to the future of Xavi as head coach. The fact of the matter is that Pochettino or any new manager coming in will join Barcelona and their future will be surrounded by uncertainty. The reason for that is that the new elections in 2021 will reshape the plan for the club, and the new president might have a different idea and they could even have the power to get rid of that manager who just has come in. If they perform well with Barcelona as managers for that 1 year, it's gonna be very hard to kick them out, but if they don't, I can rest assured I will be no surprise if the new president comes in and already has their candidate lined up for the job. And on top of that, we have to add the second negatives, and that is that Pochettino would potentially split the fan base even more than they already are. Many fans of Barcelona are already skeptical of an ex-Espanyol man taking over, whilst others are going to be completely against the idea of a trophy-less manager taking over after the arrival of Setien and Valverde. I can particularly disagree against these two statements, but in my eyes, one edge that Pochettino already has over the prior managers is that he might end up earning more respect from the dressing room, as his achievements have been more recent, like getting to a Champions League final, and his name is more sound in the world of football at the moment. And the other thing is that he is younger and he's Argentinian. I hate to use this as an argument, but it's true. He could be even better suited around Messi, and that is not bad, to be honest. When you have your best player liking the manager, it's a win-win for everyone. That's gonna be everything for today, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Be sure to let me know in the comment box down below, what do you think of the potential appointment of Mauricio Pochettino as Barcelona manager come next season? Of course, I don't want to create a huge ruckus. Now I just want to focus on the Champions League. So if you do not want to miss my previews and my content that we're gonna be doing about every single match in the UCL coming in this festival of European football in August, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe, guys, because the content coming soon is gonna be very impressive. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.